One section I always recommend adding when you're building a membership homepage is a testimonial section. Testimonials are important because those client endorsements really help to persuade people of the value of your content. So if your template doesn't already include a testimonial section, all you need to do is just go to the sections menu, scroll to the bottom here, click Add Sections, and find the testimonial in your section list. And we'll just go ahead and add that. And I'll just go back to the main page. And of course, it's been added. Let me just delete the extra one. It's been added to the bottom here. So if I click through, you can see that this is for, these are the main settings. And then each of the individual testimonial slides is added here. So again, there are just some default slides here, which you can just click into and add your own content, replace existing default content with your own content. You have the option of having an image background, which can be nice because it kind of can add a bit of texture to the site, or just select a background color. It's nice to add a headshot. If you have a headshot of your client, again, that reinforces that the testimonial is authentic because it's being connected to not just a person's name, but an actual person's face. So just to kind of show you how I would add an image. So I'm just going to browse for an image, and again, it's in this kind of section, since type is going to be overlaid over it, I would just kind of use more of a textual image that is quite muted. And I'll just upload this image. I'll also add an overlay to this that helps to make the type pop out a bit more. Let me just go grab a color. And again, I'm just adding a hex color to this. And I can decide the opacity of that as well. So if I increase the opacity, I think that helps to pop the text out a bit more. And I'm just going to then, I can either show the headshot or not. Probably in this situation, I would not show the headshot. And then I would make the font white to pop it out a bit more. And so here is how you can have a testimonial that has a texture behind it. I might just choose to have just a solid background color. And let me just update that color. And maybe I'll include the headshot in this situation, and then I'll just save it. And I'll go back to the main section, and I always like to have the whole section one color. So I'd like to include the heading as well. So I'm just going to update the heading color here because it makes it have a more cohesive look. And I'll just update this text. Again, you can just replace this text if you have different text you want to use. And if you think you need some more space on the top or the bottom, you have these padding options. Again, I always like to make sure that I have a lot of space around my content. Again, it helps users to focus. And you can set the transition speed, so the speed that the slides cycle through. Again, one thing I would recommend is not to have very long testimonials. I think, maybe 3 lines is probably the length it should be. You don't want to overwhelm a visitor with a lot of text. You want to just present them with information in bite-sized chunks that are easily digestible, because people do not read web pages, they actually scan them. So that's why it's important to have descriptive headings and not to have too much text that becomes a burden to the person visiting your website. You want to communicate what your site's about in as few words as possible. So that's why it's important to use your keywords and your descriptive phrases so that people really understand what your site is about very quickly. And then set the autoplay so that the slides will transition.